Hello everyone, and welcome to another art tutorial with UdoCreatives. In this video, we're going to show how to draw a cornucopia using line drawing and watercolor. We will do this in a 4-step process. Step 1 will show how to represent the cornucopia outline using compound shapes. Step 2 will build on Step 1 to add more details to the cornucopia. Step 3 will show my base watercolor layer. Step 4 will build on Step 3 to add more watercolor details such as shadows and highlights. If you find this video helpful, please like and subscribe to UdoCreatives for more art content. Stay tuned for this fun video like no other. Now on to Step 1. We will work on the outline for the sketch here. Sketches are important as they create the foundation of your work. It allows you to experiment with different character forms and designs. Follow closely as I show the outline version of our cornucopia here. For this, I am using an F graphite pencil. You can notice me using simple shapes to create my outline sketch, starting with the basket and then the fruits. Don't be shy to add whatever types of fruits you want in your sketch. Art is about expression. Now on to Step 2. Step 1 gave us a basic outline for our sketch. So, using that as a reference, we can sketch out some more details. You can draw Step 2 on your Step 1, but I have chosen to separate them out for clarity. It also means that I will not have to erase as much. Notice how I am using a more intense curve for the basket here. I am also adding subtle details to my fruits and improving the shape. Do not panic if you can't do it like I am doing here. Keep practicing and you will grow as an artist. I will also darken the outline later and you can see all the details clearer. Our pencil sketch is now complete. We can now outline this sketch to form the next layer of our work. For the outline, I will be using a Sakura Pigma Micron 08 pen. Follow closely as I outline our sketch here. You can see how my pen outline improves the details already. It also allows me to add even more visible details than the pencil. For example, my basket textures are more visible. You can also now tell some of the different fruits apart. Once this part is done, you can pause the video and try to copy it. Don't forget that you can add your own touch to it. Let your imagination run wild. I like using this Sakura Pigma Micron 08 pen because I can erase the bottom pencil layers without any smudging. Now we can move to Step 3. Here, we will focus on painting. Again, you can do this directly on your Step 2 outline, but I have separated it for clarity. I will quickly get back to where I was on Step 2. And then, we can dive right into coloring our cornucopia using watercolor. Anyways, let us jump into the painting. I will be using a tiny brush here as it gives me the precision I need. I'm first going to wet my tiny brush. Keep an eye on how often I wet my brush. We'll start with the basket. For this, I am using brown, because most baskets are brown. But you can use whatever color you want. I am using different shades of brown because I want some areas of the basket to be slightly darker. Next, I will work on a pumpkin. For the body of the pumpkins, I will use yellow ochre. The green pears, some green apples and green grapes will be painted using similar shades of green. The red pears and red apples will be painted with different shades of brown madder. It gives an almost dull red finish, which is what I want here. Now I will move on to the apples I didn't paint. As we know, not all red apples are perfectly red. Some have a green hue around. In the same way, not all green apples are perfectly green. Some have a red hue around. I will create that effect by blending brown madder and green. The main color of the apple determines how much of each color is being blended. Next, I will work on the leaves. These will be a mix of yellow ochre and brown madder. I'll quickly color the pumpkin stalks a light shade of brown, and then use an almost black shade of brown for the shadows. Look at that beautiful form. Now, we can move to step 4. This is our final step. The entire point of this step is to add details such as shadows and highlights using our watercolor and pen. As usual, you can do this directly on your step 3 outline, but I have separated it for clarity. I will quickly get back to where I was on step 3. In this part, I will use the same colors as earlier, but I will introduce some dark tones in my mixture, as you will see. This will give shadowy effects. I'm creating the darker tones by adding more pigment to my original mixes. For most of the fruits, I will also mix in a touch of brown to make my tones even darker. Pay close attention to the shadows I am creating all around the fruits and leaves. Also notice the tiny blank spots I left. These represent highlights. Notice the realistic effect that the shadows and highlights are creating. Next, I will create a base layer very carefully. I started by wetting the bottom of my work. Make sure to be careful of the lines. I am using a blend of dark brown and brown madder to create this. Notice that I am layering the colors. Be very careful during this step so that you do not ruin your work. My tiny brush is perfect for this. Now, I will add some final touches with my pens. First, I will use my Sakura Pigma Micron 08 pen to deepen some of the outlines. Finally, I will create shadows around parts of the basket with a darker tone of brown. And there we have it. A cornucopia drawn using pencil and pens for line sketching and watercolor for coloring. Remember that practice is key to improving on your art journey, so do not feel discouraged if you do not get it right the first time. Thank you very much for watching. Remember to always start out with a simplified sketch to see what designs you can experiment with. Please like this video and subscribe to UdoCreatives for more art content.